Hi, this is Morley and this is the M-Wire. Well, folks, as I said yesterday, we could potentially have a new fissure. Well, guess what? We have a new fissure. This new fissure is located approximately 400 kilometers north of the main vent. And it was preceded by a swarm of earthquakes ranging from 2.5 to all the way up to 3.5. There's definitely a distinct pattern with the earthquakes and the volcano. Take a look at the lava flow from the new fissure. Now they're hoping that the new lava flow intersects with the existing lava flow because that would more or less put it on its path. But that doesn't guarantee that it'll stay on its path. Lava flows, from what I've been reading about, can be wildly unpredictable. Here's a look at the most recent earthquakes in the last 24 hours on La Palma. As you can see, they are not slowing down whatsoever. There's approximately 15 earthquakes in the last 24 hours. Once again, they're all in the 2.4-ish, 2.5-ish, all the way up to a recent 3.5 again. This clearly is not a volcano that seems to be slowing down in any way, shape, or form. Its activity has done nothing but pick up in the last less than 2 weeks, folks. We're less than 2 weeks removed from the first fissure opening to where La Palma is now. This volcano is not slowing down by any means. I want to get into the most recent update from Volcano Discovery, and they do something that they don't normally do. You'll see at the end of this article what I'm talking about. With the eruption approaching 2 weeks of activity, there is no sign of it ending anytime soon. Instead, the magma supply rate seems to be more and more less stable. Judging from visible lava output and volcanic tremor, which remains at high levels, the cone complex above the original eruptive fissure is showing signs of becoming more and more unstable, as several new effusive vents have been opening up during the past 12 hours or so. So even Volcano Discovery, which basically, in my opinion anyway, gives unbiased reporting, they merely look at these from a scientific perspective, they don't seem too overly optimistic about this volcano, folks. They simply don't. At 10:15 a.m. local time this morning, observers on a location reported seeing new gas and ash emerging from what is likely another vent forming at the northwest base of the cone, visible in the attached pictures with the bluish haze behind the tree line, obviously coming from an area at the feet of the cone. Overnight, ash fall affected a wide area to the north of the site. It left a deposit of at least 1 centimeter in El Paso, but even in a 50 to 20 kilometer distance, a black layer of sandy ash has covered surfaces, forcing people to constantly clean roofs, solar panels, and other surfaces. The new lava delta on the west coast near Playa Nueva has been growing surprisingly quickly, as the embedded bathyrythmic map shows. Now, a best case scenario for this lava flow is for it to intersect with the existing lava flow. Once again, that doesn't guarantee that it's going to stay on the same path, but if it doesn't do that, it's going to basically fall into the ocean at some point, like the original lava flow did, and it's going to create an even larger toxic gas cloud. Think about that. Once the delta expands further westwards, it will be sitting on a steeper underwater slopes, and the risk of gravitational collapse increases. Such collapses can be very dangerous, as they usually trigger strong explosions, large acid steam plumes, and could even generate small local tsunamis. As the situation is quickly evolving, we will likely post another update in the evening. Folks, Volcano Discovery, unless the situation is very serious, they only post once a day on it. So they clearly see this situation as being more serious than to post simply once a day. They feel it necessary to give you an update later in the day. That in itself is very telling. Here's another article that I want to get into here. This talks about more like what life on the ground is like for the residents of La Palma, what they're experiencing, and just basically their thoughts as to what's happening with the volcano. Lava flowed from a newly opened crack in the Cumbre Vieja volcano on Spain's La Palma on Friday, carving a different path from the previous flows and raising fears of more destruction while fine ash forced islanders to don masks and goggles. A river of red-hot lava snaked downhill from the new fissure, which burst open late Thursday around 400 meters, 1,300 feet to the north of the primary eruption site. Multiple vents have opened since the volcano began erupting on September 19th, but the Canaries Volcanology Institute described the latest opening as a focus of eruption. There is concern about the path of this new flow towards the sea, although it is expected to join up with the previous one within the next few hours, said the head of La Palma's council, Mariano Hernandez Zapata. He said, as expected. Well, folks, here's a little history lesson for you in volcanoes. Just a synopsis. No one expected half of Mount St. Helens to collapse. If you're too young to remember Mount St. Helens, there's videos here on YouTube. Go watch them. No one expected that. That's how quickly something can go seriously awry when dealing with an active volcano. And it's worth mentioning that Mount St. Helens basically was smoldering for 2 months until that happened. Just saying. He said more houses had been engulfed by lava overnight. We have more drama ahead, more people to take care of, he told a news conference. About 6,000 people have been evacuated since the eruption began and are yet to return home. More than 800 buildings, including houses, churches, and schools, have been destroyed. The volcano has thrown out about 80 million cubic meters of molten rock, regional leader Angel Victor Torres said, doubling the amount expelled by La Palma's last major eruption 50 years ago in half the time. Residents of the Los Llanos de Eredane, one of the worst affected towns, have taken to carrying umbrellas and wearing eye protection as a precaution against the volcanic dust blanketing the streets and floating in the air. Last night the ash was irritating my eyes a lot. I had to use eye drops and my skin was stinging, said Matilde Gonzalez Tavares, a 45-year-old nursing assistant visiting her mother at a care home in Los Llanos. So there you have it, folks. This is an eyewitness account on the ground that people are indeed starting to be affected by this physically. It cannot be denied. With that much ash and the toxic gases swirling, that's the stinging she feels on her skin is in all likelihood from the toxic gas, but hey, what do I know? It's helplessness and fear, insecurity. You don't know what's going to happen, she said, while street cleaners brushed away the carpet of black ash behind her. Juan Antonio Perez Gonzalez, 56, who runs a floristry business in the town, fears the worst is yet to come. Folks, at the very least, this is a rapidly changing, fluid situation. We have seen a distinct pattern of earthquakes preceded by new fissures. There have been quite a few significant earthquakes in the last 24 hours. This situation absolutely and positively must, and I did say must, be taken very seriously at this point. Well, folks, I just wanted to give you this update on La Palma. Stay tight to my channel. I will be giving updates as they develop. It looks like they could potentially be coming pretty fast and furious, so hopefully not, but I pray for these people that somehow they get through this. Thank you so much for coming along with me to my video. Please remember to like, to comment, to share, and to subscribe. I greatly appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, and God bless.